summer. We kind of know what playstyles they favor. What do you think they could do in order to, since the playoffs is at stake over here, what do you think they can do to change things up, or do you think they're gonna stick to their guns?
That's a great start from EVOS. I want to talk a little bit about EVOS first because I think they're more straightforward as a team. We kind of know what they're gonna do, while Alliance has a couple more curveballs for us, right? The way we see Katsatown play is he's generally the insurance plan for the team. He's an amazing team fighter later on, but early on, the tempo of the game is usually dictated by Tipper, Valdez, G4, guest starring roams from Rich. Now, if you look at Alliance across the board, they're the team that has the oddball strategies. Twisted Fate is a big one, played by Raven when they role swapped the last time around. Nunu as well is something that Jelson hasn't pulled out yet, but might be in their pockets. Apparently, EVOS knows something we don't. But this means that Camille's gonna be first picked here for Alliance. And this is still a flex pick, and this is something we might see Jelson pick up, but I'm quite curious what this means for the rest of the draft here for Alliance, because side lanes, their strength is once again a very real possibility here.
Yeah, I think this is, interesting that teams, it looks like, have had enough of Nunu and Willem.
Yeah,
it's like, can we just not? Let's just not do that today. Okay, it's the last day over here in the group stages. Rafa, what do you think of our pick so far?
I want to see more Nunu gameplay. But obviously the
Yeah,
teams don't, because they are tired of not allowing for 50-50 Baron or Dragon flips, but also how easy it is for Nunu to just come in and steal objectives away from you, because you can't beat the Smite. Now, Alliance, they are going for ultimate lockdown. They have a lot of Galio synergies coming in, either Assault and Battery into Heroic Entrance or Hextech Ultimatum into Heroic Entrance. Now, the thing is, Alliance, you need to combo this with some damage follow-up, because Vi and Camille and Galio is not going to be enough damage on its own, especially if EVOS are able to up. Okay, I like that.
You know what's happening here? We're going to see it again, by the way. The roll swap is coming in again. I feel like every time we see Ashe, it's not going to be Raven that plays Ashe. Doesn't fit his identity as a player. I think it's going to be Veki playing Ashe, and they're going to do a bit of a cheeky role swap once again. But EVOS Esports, what is this? It seems like since the roles are revealed, they want the Renekton into Camille matchup. Oh, sorry, they want the Fiora into Camille matchup. They're confident to take the skill check. That means it's going to be Renekton against Vi in the jungle. Now, I have to say though, what I don't like about the last two picks from Alliance is that you lock in on one identity, which is you have to go in. You have to dive them. I would have liked to see a bit more wave clear from them, and for them to play into a strategy that allows them to use the split push a little bit more, because you do not want to be diving into the Ziggs, into the Braum. It's going to be a very difficult scenario that Alliance find themselves in, and if Tipper on this Fiora ever finds a lead, I think the game's just over.
Yeah, Rafa, what do you think about the draft that we have?
You know, I'm not convinced if this is going to be a Fiora in the Baron lane, because I know we've seen a Fiora being swapped into the jungle role in the past.
Yeah, you're right.
I haven't really seen Renekton jungle quite yet, so
right,
I guess we'll...
Yeah.
Okay. No, but you're completely right, though, Almo. Valdez can always get accelerated on this Fiora and then just become a potent split push threat that Alliance don't know how to deal with in the later parts of the game.
Yeah, and they will have a more dominant Baron lane matchup as well.
Yeah, we'll see indeed if Alliance can manage to pick up on that as the battle of the veterans begins here in the Rift. Alliance versus EVOS. Casters, over to you guys.
And what a matchup it is. I love what we left that desk on, Riku, because Valdez and Jelson are two of the most dangerous junglers in this competition.
I have to agree with you there 100%, with contrasting play styles. Whenever, we get to see Valdez, incredibly flashy, early game centric jungler. Meanwhile, for Jelson, even during the Wild Rift Icon series during summer, he has been that setup, that tank for the squad, has been spamming Jarvan for during the summer season, now falling into this Vi, which is, basically providing that big single target, providing that possible delivery system of this hero's entrance coming from CWJ, or even to set up for Raven, which is going to be very interesting because this is a swap of roles as well. Raven back in the mid lane. Ozora Veki has been, this veteran player has been playing multiple roles throughout his career, back on League PC, came from the jungle, mid, 80 carry, and now the flexibility of Alliance is just really nice to watch.
So in the mid lane, pulling out the Ashe, Raven swapping to this Diana. The Ashe will very likely spend most of the game down towards that AD carry position. as they do make the swap that Omo was actually talking about on the desk, just to character comfort. But it's that flexibility you were talking about, Riku. Anyone can play anywhere, anytime.
Exactly. We saw Raven back at the AD carry role yesterday. Now it's back to default settings. Especially Raven has been playing mid lane almost for the entirety of his career back in the League PC days. And right now, though, we get to see, again, this veteran matchup, G4 versus Raven, which is, because of the matchup, it's pretty non-interactive. So I'm excited to see Valdez, most importantly as well, how he's able to propel the game, especially early right now. There's a skirmish.
Yeah, Rich starts this, weirdly enough. Chelsea will be protected by a big taunt, and Rich has to flash away. Valdez onto the front lines, finds CWJ, forces another flash. He's over the wall! 1v3! Valdez surely left too far, but he's able to slide away. And Raven with no HP disengages. Ozarabeki finds 2 kills. Now threatening Cat Satan, flashes over the wall to chase. Cat Satan turns the table. Ozarabeki doesn't win this. Oh, he does! Raven saves the day! And the lads go 3 for 1 in a crazy brawl, opening game number 1 of this series.
2 minutes in, TJ. That's just 2 minutes in. Ozoraveki gets an early game triple kill, and that is definitely not gonna bode well for the side of Cat Satan and Rich, considering the fact that, again, Kai'Sa matchups are very scary just because of how little range you have. You get easily poked out and punished by a lot of these, well, some of these oppressive AD carries. Ozoraveki with a volley. We've got, you know, the Xayah and the Varus matchup, so it's all up to Rich to see if he can protect this lane, especially Jelson already lingering around.
Oh, deep dive in. Rich called out. Jelson does find the kill. CWJ gets the credit, but, you know, he's a Galio. He's living his best life.
Yeah, especially, you know, the passive's just gonna easily get that big auto attack on. Big burst, I suppose.
I do it all the time. I don't mean to. Just playing support, I'm stealing some kills.
The support life. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, actually.
It's a great thing for me. It's more gold. I don't know about anyone else. There's a little bit more gold found on the map in this bottom lane as Jelson and Ozarabeki take 2 turret plates. And in the river, we actually saw a flash burned, I believe that was by SSK to stay alive as he was threatened by Valdez.
Which is very important to get an escape tool because, again, a Camille is going to have a hard time disengaging from the fight in general just because Alliance, the composition itself, is a pretty all-in type of composition. So we'll have to see how Raven is able to initiate in these fights with the Moonfall, followed by, rather being initiated by Jelson, and being to make sure that Raven stays alive with the Moonfall setups. You follow that up with that hero's entrance. So they're using basically the Venn diagram combo, which was coined by Autaluz there on the, I believe, the Filipino broadcast, the local broadcast. And yeah, Venn diagram, hero's entrance, Moonfall into the Hextech ultimatum.
And I love that. He explained it to me when we were doing some work off stream. But just the idea that you have so many circles, you got a Venn diagram, you can put things in the middle. I love it. We do have this Rift Herald coming up here. The Rift Herald and the first Drake both up simultaneously as Raven struggles to stay alive. The arrow goes wide, but Thipper will go down. In the meantime, topside, Cat Satan barely survives an experience thanks to the aid of Valdez. SSK ultimately trades out 1 for 1. All of the gold for that bot lane turret, the first turret break of the game, does go on to Jelson. And Jelson will sweep up here and take the Drake as well. EVOS trade turret for turret, taking the top turret, and they will trade objective for objective as well, taking that Rift Herald in short time.
Yeah, EVOS Esports are going to accelerate this game. They're going to open up the map really, really fast because not only did they get First Blood Tower without the assistance of the Rift Herald, they also can use the Rift Herald to open up mid. And the fact that G4 is on his dig, so the tower taking of EVOS Esports at this point of the game is going to be completely dangerous. And I believe Omo, Rafa has mentioned, rather, when it comes to the big wave clear, it's going to be worrying. You got Winds of War, you've got the Volley perhaps, but you've got Raven as well. But at the same time, it's going to be difficult versus the Ziggs' wave clear and tower taking potential.
VODs jumps into the front line, scaring away Alliance. But Alliance will play defense across the map. And as you say, this, is a moment where EVOS are trying to accelerate the game state. So it's all very good for Alliance. They can keep the skirmishing over on the EVOS side of the map, which is what they're trying here. Arrow, wow! Across the map, will find the kill. And Thipper's just gone. A very big shutdown onto a Renekton.
Yeah, beautifully done. This is the roaming 3-man squad where all the Venn diagrams are going to come together. And Azora Vecchi will be that big initiator from flying across the map with the enchanted crystal arrow. And this works well because you can stay mid, guard the wave to make sure G4 can't get chip damage on the tower, and then yet you can still be pretty much involved in these skirmishes.
G4? It's maybe an inch, maybe a millimeter in front of SSK there. Doesn't get stunned up as a result. Probably worked out very well for SSK, and Thipper will go down on the top side of the map during that time. So SSK doesn't overcommit. They do find another kill onto the Renekton. All things going well for Alliance.
Yeah, and this is probably the complete opposite of expectations right now. EVOS, again, is the Summer Super Cup champions. They were able to just get early game domination when it comes to most of the matchups, actually. But this time around, they're playing towards late game. Cat Satan's going to scale up, including G4 as well. Especially Ziggs later on is going to be incredibly painful. And that is the window that Alliance recognizes. They can have this window, take advantage of it, try to set up these dives. They have CWJ on this Galio. They have the Enchanted Crystal Arrow for the side lane setups. And if the game continues to progress in an accelerated amount in favor of Alliance through kills and dives, EVOS Esports can be in trouble.
Deep dive here. G4 in trouble. Here come the Venn diagrams. G4, flash away. He lives. And here's the pressure on the return. Massive Mega Inferno Bomb. Moonfall to clean up the kills. Killer Instinct out. Will not be able to find anything. Cat Satan at the back of this fight, still waiting for the time. I'm waiting for him to deploy, but he's playing defense, and so Alliance escape with all their members. EVOS trade 1 for 1 in the middle of the map.
Yeah, that could have been dicey there. G4 could have suffered there, as the kill and the damage basically wasn't enough. One auto attack away from that, and G4 was still able to land a Mega Inferno Bomb into that fight and still deal and finish off the kill on towards the Galio. And I feel like, could have ended even more disastrous, but I feel like EVOS Esports played that fight really well, despite being behind when it comes to the damage department.
Yeah, I really thought Cat Satan was going to recommit there. I was waiting for that Killer Instinct, but they're just playing for the late game. No risks taken, no risks needed, I suppose. So this may change that. The Infernal Drake coming up, Riku.
Very important. Taunt. Arrow.
Rich holds the front line. The shield holds a lot of the damage. VODs tries to find an angle around the side and has to kite away. Thipper in the meantime. Cat Satan will escape. Killer Instinct gets him out. Barely over the wall. Flash back in. They've got the kill onto SSK. And CWJ can't find anything.
Double
He's blown
kill
up by the Decathlon Ray. Cat Satan 1 HP and burning, but he survives. EVOS turn the game in a massive team fight in the river.
No way. How does Cat Satan survive out of an aggressive Killer Instinct and the fact that he was just 1 HP already? Alliance had no finishers, had no way to finish off the kill. Let's take a look at that again. It all started with Alliance's Death Brush, but they focused all their efforts towards Rich. He is still pretty much very tanky, and it was pretty much messy because Alliance didn't have that target prioritization in the entire fight. EVOS just basically backed away, tried to reset the fight, burned cooldowns, and basically once all the cooldowns from Alliance were off, it was just big collapse coming from the side of EVOS.
Yeah, what a team fight there. EVOS managing to keep their carries alive, the Cat Satan lasting that entire time, G4 getting maximum value out of his major cooldown rotations at the very start of the fight. And it just adds up. Even an Alliance who's been playing really well recently can't keep up with that kind of team fight.
Yeah, when it comes to downtime where Alliance can roam around the map, find picks here and there. This is where they can find success. But when it comes to the team fights, that is a big, big problem.
And so much of Alliance's pick, did Jelson just take all of those honey fruit?
I think he did.
Ozraveki needed it. He's got low mana and low HP.
Jelson says, you're going back to base anyway. You're going to buy items, right? You don't need this honey fruit. Thank you.
Well, maybe he could have stayed if he'd had a honey fruit.
Yeah, that is very true.
Getting flashbacks to my games. I was just about to talk about how Jelson was such a good addition to this roster, Riku. But I feel like the point's moot. You're in charge.
I guess it's one of those things, you know, I'm going to set up for the team. I take this honey fruit. I need to stay in my own jungle still. Yeah.
He backs as well eventually. Jelson getting his second major item. And something to watch here. We don't normally pay too much attention to Vice. SSK here will go down. We don't normally pay too much attention to Vice because they tend not to do massive damage. But Jelson has so much gold poured into him throughout this game. And he's been such a key player for this iteration of the Alliance roster. Here's the set play. Balder steps in. Jelson deploys onto Rich, just trying to get away. They didn't find the target they want, and they're going to lose CWJ as a result. The EVOS gold lead continues to grow as they chew through kills and turrets.
Yeah, that's 7k gold lead already. We talked about the big wave clear that they're gonna really lack in that aspect, and we're seeing that now. And so far, EVOS have been planning all of these deep vision on the side of Alliance's jungle, so they gotta be careful. Alliance has to be careful because they do have their own death roaming squad in the form of Tipper, Valdis, and of course Rich in assistance to provide that CC to hold people down. And again, this is Valdis on the Fiora. He has constantly been utilizing this pick during the early stages of the Summer Super Cup to the point his success in this champion has been feared to the point that every single time people meet up with EVOS, they have decided to just play safe and ban it out. And so far, again, that threat is being seen on towards this fall season.
Yeah, dominant performance by Valdis in this game. And kind of a return to form for an EVOS that lost a very strange series. They lost to Divine just off of kind of early game pressure. Valdis got shut out of the game. And it set a very weird tempo for Alliance, who were supposed to be the top team here. We'll go for a play here, bait out an ult, trade essentially ult for ult. And it's good for anyone who's, you know, hoping for at the very least good Wild Rift. See the Summer Super Cup champions returning to this kind of form.
Yeah, there's a lot of high expectations for this team, especially their massive experience rather, coming from G4 in the mid lane. Raven though might be in trouble. Going in.
We'll dive in, engaging with the Moonfall, and Cat Satan's forced into stasis, will not be taunted, able to flash ahead of the play. Jelson's chasing Cat Satan up top, and he can't find the kill. Cat Satan turns it, and down bottom, SSK finds one, and that is all. That is the only kill that Alliance got in that fight. As EVOS hold strong, get 3, and now burn down the mid lane.
And they lack the Venn diagram now. No Galio, no Raven. It's just a circle coming from SSK. Well, not exactly a circle. Is it a hexagon?
Like a
I think it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Now it's a siege time.
Sure. Goodbye, sir. Siege time is over. I like that. That was like a little bit of a Mario voice almost, Rika.
Is it now?
Now it's a siege time.
It's siege time.
That's not what Mario sounds like. That's Chris Pratt's Mario. As they announced the new movie casting, Riku's playing Mario.
You know what? I actually don't get to play Mario as much. I apologize.
Really?
It's a new thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Drake's coming up. EVOS will be trying to just put their finishing touches on this game, as they've kind of dominated Alliance, Riku.
Yeah, at first it looked pretty convincing for Alliance, but they weren't able to snowball the game in time till EVOS EVOS' composition has come online, and again, it's these small windows of opportunity for Alliance to take advantage of when there's downtime, when there are no objectives off of the map is where this composition shines. But for team fighting, it's a little bit difficult. Most of your abilities your ults are very single target focused. And look at this, the Death Brush, hoping that Tipper will
I was
visit.
watching it on the minimap. Tipper was like clearing the way. Oh. Here we go! Hextech Ultimatum, Moonfall, Taunt, he's dead! Woo! Turret's gone though, so
It's the Venn diagram all together on all those three.
that was everything that EVOS had. In the meantime, this turret's just gonna go down, and inhibitor broken. Alliance reset, and EVOS full press in. Mega Inferno Bomb will not finish off Ultra Vecchi's. He drops into stasis, but VODs will deep dive and find the kill, resetting the grand challenge, giving him a burst of HP to turn around and take this fight. Chase on to CWJ. VODs dominates, holding the front line. Here's the split push, though, all the way on this side lane. A TP back now, an inhibitor under threat. As CWJ is rejoined by Jelson, rejoined by Raven, returning from their side lane shove. And can we get a camera on those minions in the top lane? Because that turret, I think it's gonna die. It's incredibly low. Have the minions stopped attacking it?
Well, Tipper is already arriving through the scene, so it's looking to be, it's looking to be saved.
Baron underway here by EVOS. A dive in from SSK, Venn diagram in full effect, but CWJ's already gone. And yet again, VODs holds the front line. Cat Satan cleans up the kills, and Jelson's running for his life. He'll have 3 players to save this game with against 2 broken inhibitors, and is enough that EVOS back away, turn towards this Baron.
Yeah, no Raven, no CWJ there, so there's no big setup anymore. All they have are single target CCs, and EVOS can comfortably take this for themselves.
So there is the Baron picked up by EVOS. And that should be the game, frankly. With 2 inhibitors open, it's very, very hard for Alliance to hold.
We'll see, though, because Valdez right now is working towards the bottom portion of the map already to make sure that no split push openings will happen coming from Alliance. The fact that Alliance already basically gave up on the teleport because it's basically just used by Raven, the cooldown's just going to be off, might as well lock in this Zhonya's Hourglass. So we'll have to see if Alliance is able to win the next fight, which is very difficult with the lead that EVOS Esports has.
Dive in.
G4.
Oh, Jelson
Arrow.
in the front lines. He's already dead. A big pickup for G4, and the Mega Inferno Bomb chunks away at SSK and the rest of Alliance as they run for their lives. It's a re-engage from CWJ, and it does not hold back Tipper, who just dives in. VODs past him! Double kill to VODs! A complete wipe, and Alliance are shattered. EVOS take game 1.
EVOS, again, very reminiscent of their Summer Super Cup performance.
Against GeekFam, we're seeing it here today yet again against EVOS at the Infernal Dragon fight, and that's something which I think is a little bit harder to fix, something you can't adjust from game 1 to game 2. They just need to take a step back, calm down, maybe change up the drafts a little bit to something with less burden of execution on the side lanes, and make it easier for them to 5v5.
You know, to that point, Omo, I think when you talked about how anytime that Alliance wanted to go for an objective after they dedicated the 4-man goon squad to a play, the Ziggs caused so much trouble for them because, like you said, it would counteract any of the pushes from the side lanes, and so they don't have the waves in position to actually go for a turret push or to make EVOS in a position where they have to answer a side wave pushing so that it opens up the other side of the map for an objective play. Now, because EVOS are on the blue side of the map, they took away the Ziggs because they know that Alliance would have immediately prioritized that. They go for the Riven first pick, and more than likely, I think this is going to be in Valdez's hands in the jungle.
Yeah, it's just like that, again, I love that, you know, all the teams here, they're just pretty much like, can we just not Nunu today, please? We had enough of that yesterday. So we're just gonna, you're just not gonna see it at all today. I'm sorry, Rafa. I know we wanted to see all that new play.
I think it's pretty targeted as well, right? I think this is something that they're definitely targeting in Alliance. They're like, okay, we don't really know how to deal with this. We don't want to give you a curveball that can take us by surprise. Because if we play it standard, if we go back to the basics of the game, we know we are better. So why give Alliance a chance to surprise them? It's a very good drafting strategy here from EVOS. And once again, their draft strategy looks immaculate. Varus, Janna, you're going to be lane dominant. You're going to make it nearly impossible for this Jarvan, for this Braum to lane and then to get in your backline later. He's just going to be full-time saving duty for Katsatan. And when we spoke to What the Jazz, he also mentioned one of the strengths for Janna, which plays so well into Rich's toolbox, is that it's so good at roaming. And that's something which Rich loves to do.
Yeah, Rafa, what is your opinion on the pick so far as we are nearly about to close out our draft?
So Alliance have a little bit of a wombo combo that they can set up with this Jarvan and Orianna. Cataclysm, Shockwave, anyone that's caught in is going to be sent to the Shadow Realm automatically if the Shockwave burst is high enough. But EVOS have not only a little bit of better skirmishing ability thanks to Riven and Ahri and potentially Lee Sin coming in for the final lock, but also you have this Janna, which we actually haven't seen too much Janna gameplay throughout the C Championship region so far, but it's something that actually we get a lot of flavor over of an NA, thankfully mostly to Max Green from Tribe. He is someone that prioritizes a lot of the Janna gameplay earlier on during the Summoner Series, and it's just thanks to the powerful disengage abilities that you have, either through the Monsoon or even the Howling Gale, if you time it correctly.
Wait, sorry, Rafa, which team was that? NA's? Sorry, no, I was just jokes, but in all seriousness, the Janna pick is very much a Rich special.
Hey, come on, man! I gotta squeeze in a little bit of NA love.
No, I love it. I love the connections we're making here on the desk. But the big thing that I want to point out is I completely agree with you. Janna is not something which a lot of these teams like. They typically, if they want an enchanter, we'll go for Nami. We'll go for Lulu to buff our hyper carry. But Janna is really a Rich special, and I'm excited to see how he performs on it.
Yeah, definitely. Rafa, what about you? Any final thoughts as we are about to head into game 2?
During the commotion of trying to defend NA once again from Omo trying to bash on my region, I needed to see what the last pick was. Oh, so Lucian. Okay, so Lions trying to match up with some of their own skirmishing ability, and I don't think we're going to see Raven going into the mid lane this time around. Just seems like the Lucian Braum powerhouse combo. I want to see a lot of the attention towards the Dragon lane.
There is a chance.
We're gonna see if indeed that does happen.
There is a chance that Ahri Braum go bot lane, but that's it for me.
Well, we'll see how this plays out as we head into game number 2 between EVOS Esports and Alliance. Casters, take it away.
What I love about this desk, Mika, thank you for the toss, by the way, is that Omo is reaching across the ocean over to North America with an extended hand to smack Rafa across the face. And that's just, you know, the kind of camaraderie you love to see, Riku.
Hey, I bet, especially things are soon to be in the horizon, I suppose.
Oh, yeah?
Exactly.
We've got some work to do.
Lots of that setup. But
Game
the thing
number
that
2.
Yeah. It's it's Omo being correct over here, saying that, okay, Raven's gonna go to the mid lane.
I thought we were done, but you're backing up Omo. Yes, that Lucian does go to the middle of the map. Raven will be there for Alliance. I wanted to talk through this, Riku, because we were sitting there in the backstage, we're kind of watching this draft go out, and I think we both kind of liked Alliance. I think we both kind of left it feeling pretty good about what Alliance had brought to bear.
Yeah, Alliance definitely on paper, very, I suppose, on paper, easy to execute. You've got Jarvan for Jelson. This is his signature champion, by the way. Played it multiple times back in the summer season and has basically equated as well into the contribution of basically winning that summer season championship locally. And we get to see that serving as Azora Vecchi's ball delivery system, which, you know, most of the heavy engage will heavily rely on both Jelson and Azora Vecchi. And we'll see, though, as what the panel has mentioned, most of the focus will be on the bottom portion of the map, which we're seeing right now.
Here comes G4, Ozravecki behind the turret, will drop the heal, but he's in huge trouble, and Valdez just runs him down. 1 kill, 2 kills to the jungler, the all-star here for EVOS. And by the time he finally falls, he's done the damage he came for. 2 for 1 is the trade behind Alliance's turret.
And this is exactly what we're looking forward to every single time Valdez locks in a very aggressive jungler for the early game. We're looking for the dives. You know, it doesn't really It doesn't, like, there's no Galio, but at the same time, it's fine. We can just dive. We can overpower you with damage. We can poke you out, setting up Cat Satan to put Raven, or rather Ozora Vecchi and the Orianna being incredibly low, and then set up for this dive.
And this is also what you need from a Lee Sin, is this kind of early tempo setting. Valdez roaming well across the map is going to be here on the top side just as the gank comes out. Vipper defending. V4 flashes away, jumps away, out of the Cataclysm, cut down by the culling. But here comes Valdez round the back. He's isolated SSK and he can't find the kill. Now he's in trouble. This minion wave massive. Valdez flashes to build distance. On the opposite side of the map, there's a one-for-one trade between Ozora Vecchi. Here comes G4 and Valdez will survive. So there was a one-for-one trade between Casset and Ozora Vecchi. They both died. Up top, Alliance find a kill. We're at a dead even game state. Riku.
Yeah, it's pretty even so far. Alliance, though, wanted to get more because Valdez was pretty much alone. It was a temporary, 1v4 kind of chase of a setting, which I think is, you know, a big of a struggle. Alliance doesn't exactly have the best mobility in the world. They will definitely need Ozora Vecchi to catch people, because EVOS Esports, they have a lot of tools to reset the fight. You've got Thipper with crazy movement as a Riven. You got Valdez with, you know, just being Lee Sin. G4 with a Spirit Rush. So Alliance may have a problem when it comes to chasing down targets.
They got the old man legs.
Yeah.
There might be a super team, but they need to do some cardio with this roster.
Exactly. It is gonna be a struggle, you know. They gotta, prepare their energy drinks? I don't know.
I was gonna say
not?
calves, you know, do some stretches.
Yeah,
But
I think that's
sure.
much better. No, I don't think energy drinks are.
You don't have a promo code you want to slip in here, Riku?
Nah, I got nothing. I got nothing.
Poor Riku, because we're gonna hit her up. We got objectives spawning here. It's gonna be Dragon down bottom and Infernal, so quite important. But Alliance's attention starts up here with the Rift Herald.
They do want to make sure that they open up the map for SSK to start the roams, because again, we talked about how engage, while not a problem, they do have flag and drag, they definitely need the apprehend for that additional engage to make sure to finish off certain targets. And that is, I believe, why they do want to prioritize the Rift Herald. Infernal Drake, though, this is usually what we see in teams. They want to prioritize Infernal Drake, they want to fight. Even though Alliance has a better teamfight composition, they lay in the gauntlet, decide to just, we're going to avoid fighting, we're just going for the Rift Herald instead.
It's turret for turret on top of that. TWJ and Jelson will take the Rift Herald, SSK and Raven the top turret. First turret break did go to EVOS, who were very quick to realize they had an opportunity to get that little bit of bonus gold on the trade. They took down the turret first, then pick up the Infernal Drake. Where do we stand, Riku? Is that about even?
I think it's a pretty sweet deal in favor of EVOS Esports. The fact that they get the Infernal Drake as well means they get that big bonus damage for their side, which is very troubling because EVOS Esports has a very strong skirmish and pick composition as well, with Cat Satan here over on towards this chain of corruptions. You've got the charm coming from G4, Valdez with the killer kick. So this benefits them so well to the point that, you know, they can basically utilize this, strong arm their way using brute force and see if they can find opportunities to possibly even dive SSK at top side.
Tipper playing defense down bottom, not knowing there are two people lurking. It's like the cops sitting at a peel off of a highway. They're sitting in their car waiting for someone to go over the speed limit. Tipper driving well under the speed limit. Does not get pulled over. However, his turret will fall here. The analogy will end.
Yeah, it's gonna be safe. It's gonna be fine. I like this from Alliance, though. They're playing one of those things where they're playing rather safe. They're not taking too much risks. Here, Chain of Corruptions.
Oh. Chain of Corruption onto Jelson, of all people. Doesn't find much. Jelson is dropped to half HP, but will escape.
Oh, that is just a really unfortunate trade. Flashes being burned by everyone. Meanwhile, EVOS Esports just consumes what? Ultimates and dashes. I think that's a another sweet deal coming from EVOS Esports. Luckily, though, Alliance doesn't have to worry about incoming fights soon. There's no objective to take at the moment, but they really have to brace themselves for potential dives coming from EVOS because, again, they're still working their way towards topside, and mid lane could possibly be next. Cat Satan is there to be that solid rock to continue with the farm, continue on with the push. And, you know, Alliance sees this coming. CWJ already at the top side, ready for that disengage and assistance.
So spread across the map for Alliance, but definitely this focus up here as G4 and Valdez do come to take the turret. Here's the thing though, CWJ is once again just watching from behind the dash of his car. Got the speed gun out, and let me tell you, Riku, when they took that turret, they were doing so at the speed limit, just cruising.
Just to get by, I suppose.
Perfectly legal turret take. No laws broken, so CWJ just walks away.
Did you know I don't know how to drive yet?
No.
I will get your references in time.
Is there
TJ.
good public transportation where you live? That can you just like take the bus everywhere?
No, not right now.
We're gonna have to explain this, Riku, but we could put a pin in it for now because I sense there's a bottomless well here.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, let's get it next time. Next time.
Alliance are heading towards the late game in this rank. We're well towards the 10-minute mark. And what does that look like for them is my big question. Because it seems to me you have Lucian, you have Orianna, you're waiting for both those to come online. Is that enough to match what Varus can do in the late side?
Actually, when it comes to dealing faster DPS, of course you have to hand it to Raven. We've seen Lucians play and build this full crit, almost 100% ability haste and as well as cooldown, which is going to be very incredibly oppressive when it comes to mid to late game. And Cat Satan is just gonna, charge piercing arrows from behind.
Oh no! He's broken the law! It's illegal!
Oh no!
Get back here, says SSK! And Thipper has to 1v2. He'll be shut down. A little bit of brutality as SSK drops the guillotine. And EVOS are down their top laner right before this Drake. That was very well played by Alliance.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Evo is a little bit too comfortable there because there was no vision whatsoever on the side of the jungle, the red side jungle of Alliance. Therefore, you know, getting a little bit too comfy. Good thing EVOS has a lot of tools to slow down this take. They've got pokes coming from Cat Satan, as well as, again, the Ahri orbs coming through. So, yeah, they managed to buy time. Thipper is on his way.
And finally, members of EVOS overstep as Alliance have been going for those kind of ambush plays for so long. Here's the attempt for the steal. Into the pit goes Valdez. Half HP on this dragon.
Oh,
into the chain of corruption. Jelson down to 1 HP. He's hunted down. What a flip. It's from Rich. It's from the chain of corruption of Cat Satan. And Evo shut down Jelson, take the dragon, and they grab Ozaraveki in the mid lane as well. Cat Satan goes huge. Jelson gets shut down. And EVOS have taken control of this game.
That
Valdez,
is just... Oh dear,
more.
SK?
Behind the turret, Valdez into stasis. He needs to be bailed out, but he's got friends.
What a tornado. What a howling gale coming from Rich there. Really good knock-up just to deter Jelson's engage, just to deny that heavy engage coming from the Jarvan floor. That was beautiful to watch. You know, Omo hyped it up. We've seen it. We are looking at it. Rich on the Janna is just really, really impressive.
Yeah, because Jelson wanted to go and apply a bit of pressure and then go back and smite. And he was just denied, shut down. Ozaraveki had a fancy dodge there, but G4 holds on to the charm till the second half of the fight, knowing that's coming. Predicting the fancy footwork and shutting down Ozaraveki.
Yeah, that's a little bit difficult. Again, just so easy for EVOS to close the gap with so many dashes in the world, so much mobility. I'm talking about Thipper, Valdez, and G4. And Ozaraveki needed CWJ to be present to escape his demise. And you know, EVOS, in the lead that they have right now, they're really primed to set up for Baron already. So they're looking to dominate the red side jungle of Alliance to see if they can get a pick.
Raven
Right
walking
now.
forward, and this time it's him who's caught in the trap. Valdez, what was that? behind him, kicks him forward, finds the kill, and EVOS' dominant jungler again shuts down Alliance.
That was such a smooth Dragon's Rage. That bicycle kick was just really, really impressive. Again, this is VODs, one of the best junglers in this tournament. And now he's definitely showing up here on the last day of the group stages.
And EVOS have just done it 2 games in a row. With very dicey, very dangerous early games against what Alliance can offer. But if Alliance don't do enough damage, EVOS just show up to play and shut down the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's going to be very difficult. Alliance just very reliant on Raven to deal that early to mid-game damage, and we didn't get to see that too much because there weren't actually opportunities to basically try and dominate the lane. You're outranged by Cat Satan and Rich over there in that melee support versus ranged matchup. And as well as the fact that we haven't exactly seen the setup, the ball delivery system. We haven't seen game-changing shockwaves coming from the side of both Jelston and Azora Vecchi. And I think without that, it's just going to be difficult. They're going to find difficulties in the upcoming fights.
Cat Satan forced back. G4 will throw out the charm. The turret is full, but here comes the rest of Alliance. Jelston round the side. On to Cat Satan. Satan into stasis. Will flash away and survive. Raven's looking for the kill, but can't find it. And here's Thipper in through the back lines, cleaning up Alliance. And he's still going. CWJ is gone. The Alliance is broken. And EVOS have a dominant team fight to all but seal the deal. Here comes the third Drake. Here comes the Baron. And Alliance aren't going to get near any of it.
Yeah, that's 11k gold lead already on the side of EVOS Esports. They have so much space to take this, and Alliance has zero access to try and get the steal. Unless they've got teleports open, there is that ward over towards the Tri-Brush, but I don't see this happening. This Baron rather, is just going down really fast.
Baron burned down, will be picked up by EVOS. And yeah, Alliance need to fight for this Elder, I guess. That's their game plan now. Try and get this Drake if you can, but hold on for the Elder, hold on for the late game. Is there any other chance?
Yeah, that is, I think, how can you slow the game down? Especially now you're going to be solely reliant on Azora Vecchi's big shockwaves. It is possible. I mean, you will assume that Tipper and VODs G4 to be very up close and personal, therefore opening up for a 3-man shockwave. Cat Satan will just be back behind. And yeah, that is just a free dragon for EVOS, just soloing it. This is a 2 birds in 1 stone kind of thing where EVOS can maximize the Baron buff and siege.
The police are back, waiting in the bush of the jungle.
Yes, they are.
All 4 pushing forward as Valdez goes for him. And Alliance will have to take the long way around, back into their base. Wow!
Raven. What? The damage coming from what? Cat Satan alone with just so much pokes? You've got what? Romana fully stacked. You've got Cyrilda's Grudge already pretty much ensuring you basically land the slows and the piercing arrow. SSK?
SSK in. No. Chain of corruption. He is dead instantly. And up the top side, Raven's gone as well, as Thipper, who's been so good this game, cleans things up. And EVOS, the champions of the Summer Super Cup, roar through the group stage. They'll take game 2 and clean up this series 2-0.
Yeah, beautifully done by EVOS. Complete domination by, just as you mentioned, TJ, the Summer Super Cup Kings. And with that, it's a very huge statement. I believe it's also that big boost of confidence that they needed.